I'm gonna just keep going on what the fuck I was talking about to myself because I thought I was recording. Anyways, look, it's imperative that you get your mind right, break free from this matrix, cleanse your chakras, because a lot of them is in a negative version of you, and those points need to be switched to positive because it's part of the tree branch. Feel me? It's part of your roots. But the thing is, chakras, right, is just pinpoints of your body. Spiritually and frequency wise, it's telling the frequency of the pinpoints. And then it's just showing you the organs in your body where that is. So at the end of the day, it all goes back to nature. Because even the things that are good for them pinpoints is in the ground. Just like fucking Jeremiah says in the Bible. And he had a prophecy. It came out like this. You feel me? I'm about to make a video.
This cannot be the word of God.
This is how it came out. So Jeremiah, right? He was really just someone in his Christ conscious, right? And when you're at your Christ conscious, you're tapping in, right? And to the point, it's like you're connected to source because you are connected to source now. So boom. So he has a message. He says a message. And there's people that don't listen. There's people that listen. Period. But we're gonna get into this because it falls back into knowing self. Right.
This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says to all those carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem to Babylon. This cannot be the word of God. Build houses
Bro was
and
hating.
dwell in them.
That was the false prophet.
Plant gardens and eat what they produce. Marry and have
He's the
sons and
messenger
daughters.
that came
Find
through another
wives for your
messenger.
sons and give your daughters in marriage that they too may have sons and daughters. Increase in numbers there, do not decrease. And seek for the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you into exile.
Let me pause that. See, he said to increase in reproduction, don't decrease. The thing about our species, never melanated species, while we're still reproducing while they were trying to kill us, it didn't work. So the thing is, because these energies actually ties into us. So this whole time it's been growing, and growing because it's going to supernova. The sun means soul, which also ties back into Solomon. Right. So taking words for what it means is what you need to do, not making more illusions over the illusion they already put on you, because the words were made to get attached to your imagination. So the low side of you is anxiety. Anxiety holds everything that deals with fear. Fear is bad for your immune system already. It shuts it down. Meaning, why, back to what I was saying, it's imperative that you get your mind right. Know yourself so you know it's not you. Because most of the shit you do is not you. And you're stuck in anxiety trying to find you, trying to find your own perspective. So therefore, you have to get your mind right. Fear actually can shut your immune system. Just think about the times you get scared. You get so scared, you might not even know what the fuck to do next. it shuts your body down, right? And you feel it in your stomach, right? Because that's really where your brain is with your emotions. So you have to clean that up and put it into the positive. That's dealing with the root, which also deals with your reproduction and your sacral and your solar, right? Them right there. Root, sacral, solar. Your solar plexus, right, is connected to your spleen. Your solar plexus is connected. If you was to say compare it to chakras, right, or the pinpoint, red blood cells begin to first die in your spleen. Reason why, if you was ever sad, you'll feel weak in your back. A weak back will make your head, will have your head low, and will make someone else say, put your head up. Gotta keep your head up. That's why they say you gotta keep your head up. Because while you're breathing and that prana is actually going through your back. You have to realize the air that you breathe is actually part of plasma too. It's states of matter, right? A lot of that with the air is also water and a different state of matter. It's not in the liquid phase, it's in the gas and plasma state of matter. That ties into. So when you breathe, it's actually filling those spots in to allow to get more energy to that area, more of a charge, because your cells are nothing but voltage, making you have millions. So even if one cell had a 0.2, you have trillions of cells. So when you times that 0.2, that means you have billions, millions of voltage inside of you. And the sun, for certain species, mostly like blacks and Latinos, we take the sun. It doesn't kill us. For the reason we absorb it, and it causes cell reproduction to reproduce more. So when you reproduce more cells, that brings you into a higher state of matter. Because your body, since you have body, you have a mass. It holds. Now you have matter, right? Dealing with the mass in your body. So that's when it comes down to everything's living. Just like to a water bottle. It holds water, which is life, but it has a bottle, which is the matter, the mass. You feel me? Ties down to that. So while the sun, you absorb the sun, right? Just like a phone absorbs the charge from the outlet. The outlet to connect to the source is the sun, because it's you. It's just in the cosmos. Your outlet below to nature, like an animal, is your feet and your soil. That's why we're multi-dimensional compared to any other source, because we are the ones with the souls. We have soul and spirit, meaning we connect to source and below. Now, sun is above and below. These other species can only connect to nature. And then the ones in the negative mindsets are trying to go against nature, which is the ones running this world. It sounds crazy, but no. It just is what it is. Even look at yourself when you're in a fearful mind or an anxiety mind. You reflect that energy all around you. And then a nigga asks you what's wrong with you, and you say nothing wrong. That might aggravate you some more, because it falls into anxiety. Anxiety brings aggravation, depression, fear, sadness, and all of that. And when you're in that frequency of thinking, that brings your body down with it. Now is bringing your thinking to a 10%, like they say it is already at. It brings it down to a 10% because you're losing cells. You're shutting down your nervous system, shutting down your immune system, is shutting down your nervous system. You're shutting down you, leaving you in a zombie state, feeling drained the fuck out. So you have to rise your frequency naturally. Like you naturally just compare yourself to you in a good mood. Your head's up, you're feeling good, you got more energy, like your body feels better. Feel me? You got, you're thinking better. Like you're thinking of shit you wasn't even thinking of because you're in a better mood that deals with your conscious, the way of thinking. Now your perspective is looking like, fuck it. I feel good. I'm not about to feel bad. It's just comparing yourself to the times you were feeling down and feeling good. I'm telling you that so you see it within yourself, so you can understand what the fuck I'm saying. So boom, you're not going to understand if you're lying to yourself. So boom. Thing is, that is a higher frequency. It ties back to your heart. That's why your heart connects to your root. Everyone has a heart, but you don't want your heart getting in a low frequency because your root chakra is your reproduction area, and your heart plays 1 and 1, right? Just like a man. If a man doesn't wake up with an erection in the morning, that's because it has something to do with the heart. And if it doesn't have something to do with the heart, it has something to do with that area. So that means you have to clean up your chakras. That's what the fasting ties back into your body, right? So, but spiritually or mentally, spirit, soul, or conscious, subconscious, you have to get your chakras right mentally because it's a physical and mental thing, right? That's when it becomes one because you're bringing the physical and the mental together. Right? That's just the metaphysics of you. That's how they know you. And really, they're trying to still figure out you. But they're going to use you to figure out what the fuck they're trying to figure out. Because the codes is within you. That's why when people are waking up right now, the codes are within you. People start cleaning up their DNA and not corrupting the DNA. They're starting to see clear because the codes are in you. It's the whole point of fasting. God wanted you, God or Christians wouldn't say it, like you gotta explain it that way too sometimes. Like God wanted you, God made you in the image of Him, but then work through vessels, or even as Jesus, to show you what you need to do, but niggas didn't listen. So when niggas didn't listen, they was calling them crazy, crucifying them all, right? It's the same shit that's going on right now with people, period. A motherfucker sit a homeless man and judge them all the way and speak down on them, speaking judgment. But the thing is, when you speak judgment on that, that reflects back on you in your life during your cycles. And then you're going to, until you realize, you're going to look at that person differently, or the next person you see in that same situation. Then that's when that cycle is over for you, for your judgment, because now you learn from your lesson. You're not supposed to you're not supposed to put down words. You don't even have to talk to the person. It's a thought. And especially to a person that's tapped in, they're going to feel those thoughts. Because for a person that's tapped in, they're going to understand that they're everything. Everything is them, like Christ is. Like Christ did. So boom. Being in a Christ-like conscious, you're going to be thinking the same way. Because imagine God was a word they used for something they wasn't. So, because they couldn't connect to the divinity the way we were connecting above and below. We didn't need the shit to tell us about a star. It's just right now we have to, because the thing is, when you hear certain shit and you go back to sleep, you actually, it changes your dreams. So when you go into your dreams at a conscious mindset, you're actually learning. You're actually realizing other people have dreams about you because you guys are together in a cosmos. You guys are dreaming together, right? So really, if you was to talk about it to the people you dream about or the other people and they're all in a conscious mindset, it will all come together. So now you guys can tell each other about the story you guys had. It's just certain parts you won't remember. So when it be like, oh, we went to a random area, this happened, that was because, and you forgot how you even got there. It just popped up right there. I guarantee that person you were dreaming about, they dreamed about that shit. They might not even remember the dream or even remember they had a dream that night, but they dreamed the same shit that you forgot on how you got there. And they're supposed to tell you what they fucking saw in their dream. Because you might be like, oh, I was happy here and I end up crying. In their dream, they saw what made you go from happy to crying. Y'all were in a cosmos together. This is what I'm saying. When you dream, is messages because you're fucking with quantum energies. You have these gates in you that allows you to go back in time and into the future. When you're at a low frequency, you're in fear of what's going on to the point you don't even want to dream no more. Because now your mindset is manifesting in the spirit realm. You have to realize while you're walking in the physical, you're also walking in the spiritual. So that's why I say it's imperative to get your mind right. Because, like, you're leaving your body if you know it or don't fucking know it. That's why when you come back to your body, you get sleep paralysis, right? Because it's you coming back into your body and you're gaining your senses back. It doesn't mean when you wake up, you're supposed to be fearful. It's just you don't know what the fuck's going on. So therefore, it will make you fearful. And then some people see these low entities or have a feeling of something's in their room or something's around their neck. Yes, it's there, motherfucker. But the thing is, you have to, like I said, change your frequency and remove the fear. The reason why, because they can only attack you. If you will say English word demon, they can only attack you at a low frequency, meaning you being in an anxiety head. That's why the whole system that they built to give you your way of thinking gave you anxiety, because your anxiety is your imagination, and your imagination is power, because your imagination is your way of thinking, right? And the way of thinking controls the nervous system, right? Your nervous system, right? But when you realize that you're never melanated beings, carbonated beings, once you realize that everything is you and you are everything, you realize that the nervous system that you're controlling is also the nervous system in your reality, because the nervous system controls cells. Atoms make cells. There's atoms all around you. So pretty much that's like cells. So when you talk about manifestation and the power of that, that's how it's really working. So literally you're manifesting in every second of the day. And then you're connected to the nervous system, your reflections. If you think of God, your reflections of everything. And so boom, that's why you can't speak down on people like that, because really you're bringing that judgment back on you. And that's becoming a spell also. That's witchcraft. That's why you're supposed to speak goodness into people to uplift them, because that's actually uplifting. That is a form of praise. Feel me? Me loving you for who you are, that is a form of praise. That's just another word of what the fuck it is. We're not about to put no extra shit on that, because at the end of the day, if you want to take it to meaning, that's all it fucking means. So like, there's you uplifting someone and putting someone down is like you praising someone and you putting a hex on someone. But the thing is, when you're putting someone down and putting a hex on them by trying to speak down to them, even if it's indirectly or directly, and comes right back around to you. That's the reason you're supposed to speak goodness into people and uplift them, because that comes back around on you, because that's the way your consciousness works. Now you're controlling your environment around you because you control your nervous system. Now you're controlling your body. Now, like I said, your body has cells and all your cells has voltage. Now that you're controlling your cells to actually stay, because the fear, the anxiety actually kills cells mentally. You're going to kill cells physically by putting the wrong shit consuming into your body. But mentally, you can kill your own cells just by anxiety. That's the lower self of you and the negative version. That's why it's the negative of you, anxiety. That is the negative of your conscious, it's the negative of your imagination, and it's the negative of your power, meaning no power. So boom, you put it in a positive. The thing about the positive, you're not killing your cells. Your cells are actually able to reproduce itself just off of mentally. So that's when your thoughts become healing. That's why, because it ties back into your sodium channels, which ties into the plasma, which ties into source. Everything in source is just plasma, everything around you. Atoms and plasma energy. Plasma energy deals with quantum energies, which with you have. You literally are a replica of the universe, my nigga. Like, this is no fucking joke. This is why I keep saying this shit. You're in control of your reality, literally. Like, if you listen to everything I just said, like, that's just scientifically proven. Like, it's metaphysics. It's about you. And all these studies that they're saying is just all talking about you. That's where they got it from. You, my nigga. This is why you got slaved and killed and all that. It's all about you. This is why they try to hide your history. And then you look at everybody's history else, all it is about war. There's no divinity, there's no love. None of their history comes from that. It comes from war, taking shit, and manipulation. My father didn't come from that, period. Spiritual father, mother, which really would be a mom, didn't come from that. So boom. Alright, this is why you have to be in the heart space and up, because even if you're in the heart space, it still could be in the negative. That's why I was saying back with the weed. Weed is a star seed plant. These fruits are star seed plants. We literally brought it here and planted it. Literally. Saying like, I heard one person I be listening to sometimes is Rashad Jamal. He made a video about weed, saying how they named it cannabis because it comes from Canis Major Minor. Boom. or Canis Minor or Canis Major, one of them, right? So Canis, right? Sirius is actually the brightest star. That's in Canis Minor. Sirius, right, is like a sun, but shines way brighter. But whole time, Sirius is a quantum energy gate. Because if you put your, and it's the North Star, it's the Star of David, it's all of that. But the thing is, if you put your camera on the lens on Sirius or the North Star, you would see it's a spinning orb. It's like two circles, but it's spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. I made a video on that, but it's spinning, right? It looks like how they would say a time machine or a portal, right? So like that's quantum energy, right? So boom, but this say how the sun actually will, it already does by itself, but now that we're in a different UV that most of our bodies haven't adapted to from these last 3 years, as it's going into a new energy, really 2017, really, as it's going into a new energy, your body's been adapting. But the thing is like the rays to your body is a germ detoxifier, like the rays to a plant, because you have plant DNA, right? So, meaning plant DNA, plants and all nature is already built to go with nature, right? So that means you're naturally made from, feel me? That means you would never come from a fucking science lab. You were never made like that, right? But it will make it to how you can see how everything else is a replica of you, right? So boom. Thing about this weed though, like me with chakras and shit, I don't hear nobody say this, but I heard people say shit to relate to it. So when I put it into my own perspective, it actually made sense. So say how like the rainbows connect to your chakras, right? Represents a chakra. Everything natural emits a rainbow off its frequency. From different frequencies off it emits a rainbow. Like the sun, the planet, you, sound, music, your brain, all of this shit. It emits rainbow colors from the frequencies. So, thing about your organs, just like an organ, it's connected to different notes. Like all the notes for a piano is the notes to your chakras. That's why the power of music can actually is powerful, because it's your body is really a frequency. Without the flesh, your electricity and magnetism. So that means you're a frequency. Period. No extra shit around it. That just means you're a frequency without the flesh. So the power of music is something is actually very interesting when you get to learn about it more. It's more than just words. It's more than just tones and melodies. It's more than it's power. It's sound. And all of that turns into messages, right? Off of a sound with no words. Really, words is a third dimensional way of thinking and using shit. A higher conscious of you will only have to use words, because once you get your conscious right, everything around you manifests without you thinking in a positive way. But that's why your heart space gotta be right. Because without the heart space, everything ties back into the heart. Your crown ties back into the heart. Your root ties back into the heart. That's like the 5 elements ties back into the heart. The heart is the generator for it. But love, the way of thinking of love brings balance because it brings corrections. It corrects and removes the wrong. Negative brings that brings positive results for what you're doing physically, mentally, and for your atmosphere, for everything around you. That's the Trinity right there too. That's why it's imperative to get your mind right. Like how Morpheus would fucking say, right? Free your mind, Neo. Free your neocortex in your brain. You have to free your mind, know self, then you see the real reality. Like, it's to the point I grew up hearing nothing's impossible. Then I was hearing you can't do everything. Then I was hearing shit like you can't fly, you're not a bird. Then I start hearing like, what's your common sense? This is shit you hear as a kid, bro. Like you channeling everything in, but when you're not conscious, like you're built to fucking channel in shit. Like the TV. You're built to channel in these frequencies to make a clearer picture, like a TV. But when you're not connected to self and source and nature, because everything is nature that's natural, that makes you, if you're not connected, there's static on your TV. Now you're static as a TV. That's when it ties back to your dreams. That's why it's imperative. Because in this physical realm, you're also walking in the spiritual realm. And when you sleep, you're visiting the spiritual realm when you're in your dreams. Right? That's why it can look like anything you want it to look. You're in the cosmos. You're in control. Right? But the thing is, when there's other entities in the cosmos too, and then there's entities that's attached to these other people that you may know, right? So that's why it's not the person, it's the spirit. But the spirit is the conscious, right? So you have to get your mind right, because these low entities can work through you and have now you're, but it's working through you because now you're going against yourself and you know you should be doing better. That's because your heart is still there. But if the conscious is not the perspective of the heart needs to be in, is going to bring anxiety to you. So you need to know self to know the difference of what you've been taught. Because that's like hearing a lie and believing a lie. So now your whole life you believe in a lie. But now you're getting conscious enough to point out that you've been lied to. So now once you point that out, that rewires your brain. And it might hurt because of your heart, right? But you can't let that negative feeling take over you. You have to accept it for what it is. And now you can move on for the energy you're supposed to be in. You're not supposed to hear that and want to commit suicide. If you ever come to that point, that just means you're in a falling state of you. Feel me? You have the up. We all pretty much are in a falling state. That's the whole point of uplifting yourself and rising back up again. Because when you rise back up again from a falling state, you're not in cycles. And once you realize we're in the present dealing with cycles, you're breaking out of those cycles and you can transcend, right? And to even get to when you're in the heart space now, mentally and physically, you're allowing yourself and your frequency to move up. So it will talk about how you're crystallized being, angelic being, you're absorbing this UV, right? Because you are the same thing. So it's like, say like I go outside, right? It could be a cloudy day. The plasma from the sun and the way I radiate removes the clouds. So the light that's in my aura is not visible to your eye. It only picks up on a camera, maybe. You could see my aura around me. But it's way bigger than that. It's not even picking up on a camera eye. You have to look, you have to pay attention to nature to actually realize how big your aura is. And then you could pay attention to the sky to realize how big the sun aura is. Because most people, you're getting blinded by the aura. But if you let your eyes get adapted, that means your eyes become stronger. If your eyes is getting more adapted to fake light that's inside of your house, and which is the AI version of the sun, is going to cause negative changes to your eyes. So when you actually do look at the sun, yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to feel like you can't see. But your eyes, right? The eyes are one of your biggest forms of melanin, meaning that you can absorb that. So if you get it adapted, your eyes go up, just see the circle, and then you can see the aura without it hurting you. Like you're looking past the circle, you're looking past the aura now and seeing for what it is. And you only do that because your eyes got strong enough. So that was the whole finesse trick of fucking your eyes up. Because your eyes, the palms of your hands, and the palms of your feet, the sole of your feet. It's funny how they use sole. But the sole of your feet and the palms of your hand, it's like it connects like a tree does when it gets rooted in the soil, right? It's the biggest absorbance. So your feet is really for the absorbance for below. Your eyes is for the absorbance around you, and your hands. Your hands is like the neutral for controlling everything around you. And like you can control and manipulate the energies with your hands. The above for your eyes, you absorbing it. But you can also use your hands, the ground, for being above. Like these are the biggest absorbers of your melanin. Even though they're the lighter spots of your body, like your eyes, your palm, your hands, your feet. Those are the lighter spots of your body. But those are the biggest absorbents. Like even though your hands are light, like if you're supposed to aim your hands at the sun to the point it looks like you're putting your hands like giving praise. That is a mudra at the end of the day. Different positions that you're laying in, those are like low-key yoga positions. Like that's why it can negative affect you or negative or positively affect you. But going back to what I was saying, like when you put your hands towards the sun, you're pointing your hands in a direction so where it can absorb. So if you're absorbing this, is actually bringing up your frequency higher because how does a frequency gets higher, right? How does a, a fence or voltage get a charge to even spark your ass? How does that happen? More voltage. More voltage brings more frequency, brings more sound, brings more signals, bring more messages. Reason why they need more 5G towers or more towers to have 5G. It's the same thing, just more towers. And that's more frequencies and signals. But it's that's against you. So at the end of the day, that's light codes keeping you dim a little bit longer. That's why they need the 5 and the 6, because we're going into the 5 dimension and the 6th dimension, meaning that is 5th and 6th dimension energies, right? It's going into the carbon energies, which represents 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neurons, 666 when it comes to the energy. But the 6 is also an inverted 9. So when you look at that, it's going back into, it's the same thing as saying the 999 energy. 999 energy is the angelic realm energies. So, god damn, I be getting deep. But look, I don't even know what I was trying to say. I had to stop myself. God, so that's why it's imperative to get your mind right. I don't even know where I stopped off. I need to really keep going. But, oh yeah, your hands and your feet. That's why it looked like they were praising the sun. It just helped to connect to source, because that's what you're built to do. If you're able to absorb, then you're connecting to it. It's just like your feet. You can connect to nature. That's why it's good to close your eyes. And because when you close your eyes, you're strengthening up your other senses. You're strengthening up your smell. You're strengthening up your hearing. You're even strengthening up your pineal gland, because that's also this another sense. There's nothing evil about your fucking body. The only thing that can be evil is your mindset. You can't be in an evil mindset, which is a low, negative mindset of you. The shit that was created of you. Just look at a baby. They knew what the fuck they were supposed to do. They knew what love was, right? They knew what love was. They knew exactly what it was. But growing up in this system showed them differently. And now growing up is like how they say, oh, people trying to find themselves growing up. You're damn right they're trying to find themselves growing up. You've been taken away from the way of really growing up. Like I said, they try to fuck with our chemistry to nature. What's another word for chemistry? A relationship. A natural relationship. When you meet someone or connect with someone, you said we got chemistry. Like, we naturally vibe. We naturally connect. That is like you connecting to nature. It's like you connecting to above. And when I say that you being a carbonated being, you connect to everything around you, because everything is you by DNA, not by thought, by DNA. Not by thought. It's not even DNA. But we're going to use their word, DNA. That's why you can't let them fuck with your RNA, the DNA. You have to let nature take care of it. That's why I'm about to go back to this Jeremiah prophecy from the Bible, right? And you're going to listen to what the fuck he said about planning the food and eating from that. thing about that is when you plant power, you plant electric. Look, natural food is electricity because it's cellular repair. Cellular repair means producing of more cells for the positive. So that means, like I said, your cells hold voltage, right? So the more cells you have, the higher frequency you have. You have to stop killing your blood cells. And I know it's hard right now because that's how we've been taught. That's how our brain is downloaded to even think. But you knowing self, right? You knowing what's right and wrong, you have to be down for yourself and go against it. You have to remove the fear even with yourself. You're your own enemy. You're the only motherfucker that knows about you. You're your own enemy. Literally, you're your own enemy. Nobody else. You might blame it on somebody else, but it ties back down to you. Because at the end of the day is everyone's at a falling state, so you have to rise. So if you arise and everyone's still at a fallen state, it's your job not to go against them. You have to uplift them too, nigga. You're not supposed to be like, oh, I'm better than you, nigga. You're supposed to uplift them too, because y'all are all connected. When you realize you are like, you are me and I am you, we're all connected. So who the fuck am I to know that? That's like watching you fall and I'm still talking shit about you. That doesn't change nothing. That's why niggas who might be typing in doing the same shit, that doesn't change nothing, bro. You're not ascending to extra higher thinking. You was about to, but now that's your blockage. So when you figure that shit out, now you can move up. Like, because it's really spiritual when it comes down to it, but really it's just nature. Really it's no words for it. It is what it is. There's no words for you. You are who you are. There's no words for me. I am who I am. Like, do you feel what I'm getting to? The real enemy has been fucking with your chemistry, using the elements that are in you and making other different bonds and figuring out the reaction. So now these drugs that you call drugs, that ties back into potions. When you talk about drugs or chemicals, chemicals are poisons. Poisons that are mixed up together are potions, right? Potions are acids. See, and then you have positive potions. There's like a mixture of herbs, because look, herbs is also a chemical compound to a certain extent, because when you eat the chemical reaction makes cell reproduction. Compared to unnatural foods, it makes cell pathological blood destruction. It makes blood destruction, meaning it destructs your structure. That's what it does. It deactivates your structure when you eat shit that you're not supposed to intake. But when you eat shit you are, it 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 makes the production of your structure better. Because you look at it as higher states of matter. Look at angels. Like, you literally had to lower your frequency to even be in this body, right? To even operate in this body. But when your conscious is at a higher frequency, you're in control of you leaving here in this planet and going up. That's like when you go to sleep, you're in different frequencies, and you're like delta and gamma. You're in different frequencies that allow you to do certain things. That's why I say these gates are in you. just like these portals that the earth is going through dimensions. So as we're going through dimensions, you're going through dimensions, but the gates are in you, so you can literally go to higher dimensions. Period. And once you tap into yourself, get body and mind right, you're actually going to go to higher dimensions. Because once you unlock the 7 basic chakras from your root to your crown, mentally and physically, now you're ascending to higher realms, to higher consciousness. Like I don't even know what chakra I'm at, but I know there's like 144 plus. So I mean, like, but the main basic that niggas need to focus on is the 7. That's why they needed 7 variants of this fucking virus that was all from the shot, the vaccine, like any other vaccine has been. Still coming down to the flu, to the SARS, to smallpox, to all that shit. It was always in the vaccine. The thing is, people were intaking shit they weren't supposed to intake. So while cell reproduction was going on, that was making this, that, and the third. Second, the weather, the clouds. The clouds has always been it, right? So and propaganda has always been around. So it's basic, is science, but it's alchemy at the same time. So, because alchemy is just witchcraft or science, mixing up chemicals and shit. So the thing is, when you say chemicals, you think of liquids. Liquids is a state of matter, the liquid state of matter inside of a solid container. So when you think of this gas at a higher state, when you put these chemicals at a higher state, it becomes in the gas matter stage. Thing about these elements are connected to plasma. So when you put them chemicals and put them together, they make reactants, and that forms a whole nother element. Not a whole nother element, but a whole nother compound from those 2 elements or more elements put in there. So they take these elements, put it in a gas state of matter. That's why they need the jet fuel. They need the jet to even do so. Because the jet actually, for the jet to even go that fast, it produces a lot of heat. Heat produces energy, period. That's why they want to keep you cool you down, and to keep the planet cool when really it's supposed to be hot. It's just these other beings that's not from here can't take it, so it will make them feel like they're in hell. But it will also make you feel like you're in hell if you're going against yourself, which is a sin. If you're eating shit that you're not supposed to be eating, if you're taking part of cannibalism, because niggas don't realize a lot of the shit you eat, you're not eating what the fuck you think you're eating. You might be fucking eating a human. There's factories already finding human meat inside of the food, especially all fast food is pretty much human meat or another animal. That's proven. So it's like, but they're still pushing it. It's not shit you see on the news. And if it wasn't on there long. Feel me? Like, this is just no joke, bro. This is why your food, after 9 years, shit just always tastes different. Thing about the South and North America, they getting their meat from somewhere else. So low key, North America meat used to taste way better than the South America, like meat in America. I'm talking about like the United States, like the South and the North, like McDonald's. Like when I used to eat McDonald's, McDonald's up north used to taste way better than McDonald's down south. But then if you go out west, it tastes better out west if you was in the south than the east. So like, thing about it, they've been killing all these chickens and shit, like 90 million plus just in March alone. But this shit been going on ever since last year. So the thing about that is though, it's all coming from the clouds, right? Cause I mean, niggas was only eating animals back then for a sacrifice anyways. So it's like, so niggas would use the blood from that animal. But getting back to what I was saying, like, them being outside in the clouds all the time, right? That's actually what's giving you those respiratory problems because that's carbon monoxide, right? Carbon monoxide, actually, you're not supposed to breathe in a lot. That's like you in your house and your monoxide radar goes off and you're breathing it in without knowing. That's exactly what's going on when you step outside when it's cloudy. There's no clear skies. If it's nighttime, you can't see no stars. Even if you're in the city where it's bright at, you still should be able to see stars. You're not going to see all of them, but you should be able to see stars. That means that sheet from them chemtrails is still there, but it usually falls at night while the sun is not shining on it no more. It falls, right? So boom, as this fall is hitting the plants, the ground, which also affects the groundwater, and it's affecting the animals because they're outside. They have to deal with that outside. The thing is, the animals are tapped into this energy too. The plants is tapped into this energy too. The fruits and the vegetables and the trees are tapped into this energy too, meaning the frequency of growth because it's more cells being produced, it's more energy around for it. It's like you get a cheap ass charger, then you get that's just shitty. It don't even charge your phone. It keeps it at 1%. Then you get another charger. That jump, it bring you up. It charge you up to 100. But the speed of it don't charge it up that fast. Then you get that A1 charger. Nigga, that shit perfect for your phone. You let it sit on there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's charged all the way up. That is an example of how the frequency is different on this planet now, right? And they know who connects to this frequency. They know it's us. That's why they're trying to kill us. Especially this whole thing has been about us. Taking our planet, taking our resources, draining us, and draining our energy. Once you realize the way these thoughts, and that's not you, where it comes from, when you realize the propaganda, like how the war, right? They're using the war for a cover story to say there's going to be a food shortage, gas prices going up, all of that, all because of the war. When really, in 2019, they came with the virus, right? To fuck with your cells, right? To fuck with your chemistry with nature, right? Because we're going into higher energies, quantum energies, Bible time energies, right? Like Samson and Delilah energies, right? We're going back into we're in that because it's a cycle. It's not past and present. I mean, it's not past and future. It's only present. It's cycles. So we're back in that cycle, and they're fucking scared, my nigga. Back in that cycle, stories told about one man taking out armies by himself. Feel me? We're back in that cycle. And those people that they were talking about with divinity was the black and Latinos. Period. So we're back in that energy. But the thing is, you have to rise with this energy. If you want to be able to ascend like Jesus did, you have to move and walk like him. Fuck saying all this extra shit. But then that's the thing, you have to know right from wrong. So if bruh did some wrong shit that's not even right or not righteous at all, that's not you, because you are love. So you pick up high frequencies of love from that. And all that extra shit just because you look up to someone, that don't mean everything bro was saying was something you need to be doing. Because most likely they still have some type of anxiety with them, so it's reflecting through their message. I don't have no anxiety with me. All I have is love. All I want to see is you actually excel. And I'm not even going to speak down on you to excel. I mean, sometimes I might get mad, like, bruh, niggas acting stupid, because that's what it is. You acting stupid when you're fucking intelligent. But, I mean, when you're growing up in the system, it will make you think like that. That's why you have to break out of it. Everyone's intelligent. Like, you have to stop looking at intelligent as like you're not. It's like a basketball. You talking makes you intelligent. You know how much cells you're even using subconsciously just to get your message out? You're expressing your thought through words. You're expressing your, like, you don't understand how many cells you use just to fucking do that. And it's like they made it to where you mentally kill yourself. And then physically, in the foods, they put all types of drugs in it. And what does drugs do? Drugs bring addictions. So it makes you feel like you're hungry. But the thing is, if you're mentally not right and you're in that hungry stage, it gives you all forms of anxiety. Madness, sadness, being aggravated, so on and so on. You feel me? Right. And you don't want to be in that situation when shit around you is just horrible. That would fuck around and have you acting like a cannibal. Facts. Like, it's going to hurt and it's going to make you feel like you need this, that, and the third when you're not fucking using common sense. Right? I fasted and realized pretty much the whole year I was in the sun. And while I did that, I saw for myself that you really don't need food. You really are like a plant. Like, I mean, you need to eat food, but you gotta eat plants, right? Because that's you. You have to eat what repairs you, your cells and shit like that, not what blocks up your rivers and make dams. You can't have dams in your river that fucks up the energy, the flow everywhere. When you have dams in your river, it only has the energy in one little area, but that fucks up the energy everywhere else. That's like at UPS. If a box too big, it's gonna stop the whole line up. And when it stops the whole line up, it stops everyone up from production. You have to remove the cells so you can have production in cells. You don't want negative results in production. You want positive results in production. And that's the whole thing about variant. You are the variant. There's cell division going on. You need it in the positive to rise with this frequency. It's evolution. Anything else just becomes a fucking illness and dies out. If you're going against it, you're going to go against it, and then that's going to cause forms of paralysis because your cells are trying to reproduce and grow, but they're not. They're dying and making lactic acid all in your vessels, and that's a no-no. The only way that even happens is because your sodium channels are blocked, blocking your antibodies from your membrane. You're killing your cells, and you're, like I said, mentally, you're the president and commander-in-chief of your military. Your military is your antibodies. So mentally, you have to be in control of them, and physically, you have to have a strong building protecting you, protecting your spirit and soul. You have to have a strong body. You have to have that shield built around you, that aura. Like how Jesus' aura was, or the sun aura, you have to have that shield. Do you know Europeans couldn't even stand around us without getting the same sickness they're getting? Because their cells are not of the universe. If anything, is of animals. So if the sun fucks with them, we radiate like the sun too. Our light radiates like the sun because of the cell reproduction. When I say cells are is voltage, voltage is electricity. Electricity is light. Electricity is frequency. Electricity is also sound. Like these birds are chirping, they're giving out the frequencies. Crickets give out frequencies. No, crickets give out 10,000 hertz of frequencies to you. Nigga, that's above you. That's above crown. So when you hear shit or see shit, when they say spirit animals, how your angels try to connect to you, the animals that are projecting at a higher frequency, yes, that's how you know a fake bird from a real bird. Because most of these birds around is just spying and doing government shit. Reason they got every angle on Google Earth. Same reason how they spy. It's a military tactic. If you look how they was doing the war, they use weather, frequencies, and animals. Because when we used to fuck them up, we was connected naturally, and we connect to the 5 elements. Like the four natural elements, right, is like water, fire, earth, air, right? You making a heart, but also is plasma. So really that would make 6. But you being a 9 ether being, that 6 will inverted will be a 9. So then it ties into the other points of you. So look, each finger controls a certain element, from plasma, water, fire, earth, all of that. That's why when you do the mudras or move, even if I move my hand, you might feel some type of energy, or me just moving, period. Like, you're dealing with energies, right? It's just like bro in the Eternals. Well, I don't even know if it was the Eternals, it was the black guy. He was building shit by doing mudras. He was manipulating the energies, right? Well, not manipulating it, he was controlling it. So I guess, but his manipulation was positive, not negative. All right. So boom. I've been going left and right with this shit. back what I'm saying. It's imperative you're right to yourself. Because it's just like you in this physical in fear and it's holding you back. You're in the spiritual in fear. But the thing is, you could change reality. Because like I said, you guys are literally coming together in your dreams, right? You guys are literally coming together in your dreams. Especially if you're woke. You definitely need to be talking about it. Talking to someone, expressing who you are, so the other person who would have never even thought about talking to it about you will express it to you, and now you can help them move forward because we're one conscious, bruh. Literally. So all these dreams that we're having actually connects to each other. Sometimes you might hear something. It takes a woke person. It takes a person that knows self. Because other than that, you're going to keep looking for answers from someone else. But that person might not even be there yet. They might almost there from breaking out of the veil. Because the veil came from the devil. The devil. The veil. The veil came from the devil. So you have to remove the veil like removing the curtain to show what's really going on behind the scenes. It's like a motherfucker showing a magic show. They opened up the curtain, right? Saw the magic show. Then they closed it. Then somebody behind the scenes, right? Say that's like your higher self, right? Your higher self pulled the curtains on their ass. Now you see what's really going on. The fake shit, right? That's how it is when the veil is removed. You'll see reality for what it is and not for what it's not. You can't put petty shit on something for what it is. It's just what it is. Just like they're not going to change who I am by giving me a name that has nothing to do with me. Even my race, African American. I'm not African. I'm not American. This is my land at the end of the day that you fucking took from my family. Like, come on, y'all. It's time to wake up, bro. These people running this shit were scientifically made, bro. An experiment, bro. We taught them love, bro. And now they are taught and use it against us because they realize the love space. That's why most blacks and Latinos has been taught to not love themselves, and most Europeans and other races have been taught to love themselves because they thought if they can get into the love space and the love heart, then they can open these gateways. But it's not like that. It's not like that. We're the only ones that have those keys. All this archaeologist shit that they've been talking about in these creatures, they tapped in with us. Feel me? You feel me? Like, that's the thing. They wanted them to goddamn be like that. They had to reverse it. Now we're warring with each other like we come from that. Their history is warring from each other and they come from that. That's why most of them still manipulate each other behind the scenes. They still do that to their friends. Trust me. I have a lot of white friends, and I've seen that happen within the group too. But I know history, so you can't really fuck with me on that. So like, thing is with that, like, they put it in reverse. Now we warring against each other, killing each other out, because they used to war with each other and kill each other out like monkeys. That's what monkeys do. A monkey would go to one tribe and go to another tribe and literally kill it out. That's in their DNA to do so. I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm just saying how ironic it is that we come from love, but since we fallen in the state, we started to act like them. That's like Satan. Once you fall into that state of anxiety, even if you don't know it or not, you're goddamn still acting like Satan. Because you're judging motherfuckers, but at the end of the day, you're putting that signal back on you because you're connected to that other motherfucker, even if you don't know it or not. That's not your purpose of being here to fucking do that. If you're gonna judge, you don't put the judgment on them. Putting the judgment on them is putting it back on yourself. That is a spell. And then it's a negative spell. So now that's witchcraft. Like you're not speaking greatness into anyone. That's messing with magic when you're messing with vibrations and fucking frequencies and music and all of that. That's why this is a magical realm. So even when you say you're not participating in this, that, and the third, you are by the way you think. That's why your words and thoughts are powerful, because it holds vibration, signals, and all of that. You have to remember that without the flesh, your frequency, your signals, and all of that, your thoughts, and all of that. So imagine, and then you have to remember you're interconnected with everything around you, even the people, because of the cells. And then those thoughts are connected to your nervous system, and the nervous system around you. So that's why your thoughts is manifesting that way, and that's how your thoughts can be making someone else feel down, right? Your thoughts can be making someone else feel like aggravated and all that extra shit, and they're like, where the fuck is this coming from? It takes a person to know self. You be like, nah, this ain't me. Somebody must be hating or talking shit, because that's the only place it will come from. Especially if you know you haven't been doing nothing. Yeah, them energies come from that. But a person that's very intuitive, they're gonna peep it, because scientifically, or how I'm saying it, is frequencies. Frequencies pick up signals. That's like if I close my eyes and listen to this bird chirp, or just like shut the fuck up, the middle of my forehead is going to begin to vibrate, because it's sending off a frequency from my third eye. Or I might feel it in the back of my brain because it's sending a frequency from my brain. Or maybe I could hear a sound and it hits my heart. It's a natural frequency coming up. That's why they make unnatural frequencies like 5G, 4G, or anything radiation, right? Even this phone, this tablet, it radiates, right? Representing cells to even have a connection with Wi-Fi. So when you connect to Wi-Fi, the radiation of your phone actually gets stronger, which is bad, because it's representing you. That's like you when you get connected and rooted, get connected with source and rooted with the planet. That makes your connection stronger, and it radiates you, meaning more radiation naturally. So they're trying to destroy your radiation unnaturally, because when you're a carbonated being, multi-dimensional, look, they call us colored because we were colored. We're rainbow. We're the rainbow children. We're the indigo children, period. We emit these frequencies of rainbows just like anything in nature, to our brain waves and everything. Then our brain waves is the same as these stars above. Alright, and we're the star seeds, literally, because we're naturally made to have offsprings that creates the same magnetism and electricity. energy. Our offspring, we're not a species with an offspring to create something that's unnatural. It would take something from our species to come with that species to even help it grow. That's like a mixed child that's black and white. The dominant gene from the black person is going to override the white person gene, which was going to help them survive in these frequencies. It's like the explanation of a demigod that was a half and half. Feel me? Like, or like Pootie Tang saying, my demi was calling like you like a lower self of you. Like, so boom. I don't even know if I said everything I was supposed to say, but I really want to look up Jeru before I got down. Before I end this, because I've been breaking down words and I'm really good at it, and find out it's actually a study. Like, niggas can go to school for this shit that I became good at. Did they just end this shit, bro? Bro, why did they just exit, bro? Did they even save? Bro. Fuck I mean, bro. They just muted me. I stay muted. My fucking leg wants to go to sleep. Cut this shit off. Like, fuck these niggas, bro. Fuck these niggas, bro. Shit cloudy all around. It's a whole circle. Every time I step up, nigga, if I go inside, like I just said, boom, ain't nothing in my view is going to interfere my energy. You can't fuck with me, government. It's just what it is now, okay? And you know this. Leave me alone. Every time I suppose they bruh, this cannot be real, bruh. It's just what it is now, okay? And you know this. Leave me alone. Every time I suppose bruh, this cannot be real, bruh. No, that. Now they're showing my life after it ended. So that proves that my phone is being tapped right now. Nigga, I just played that shit. That shouldn't be on a record when I press play on live. Like, I just hopped on the messenger. Bro, they dead ass tapping my phone, bro. Like, nigga. Now they're showing my live after it ended. So that proves that my phone is being tapped right now. Nigga, I just played that shit. That shouldn't be on a record when I press play on live. Like, I just hopped on the messenger. Bro, they dead ass tapping my phone, bro. They're dead ass fucking with me, bro. And now this is gonna be on my live. What's up with y'all? Y'all recording me? What's good? I want to tap in my phone. I think I would be tripping. I'm very aware of you. Look, y'all. I made a whole 2-hour live, right? The live ended. Now, I went to Messenger, and then I went to the live that's on my page, and now they're saying shit after the fact. Now, everything that's on my live is what I was saying while the live ended. I was looking at my Messenger. I even said, this is crazy, y'all. Really, you see, bro, I'm not capping, bro. I'm not making no cap about anything, bro.